Michelle Trachtenberg caught the acting bug early and proceeded to keep working for over 3 decades. Now in her late 30s, her vast body of work perfectly documents the way she's changed over the years. Michelle Trachtenberg began acting professionally at an age when most kids are still learning to tie their shoes.
My first commercial was Whisk detergent commercial.
How old were you?
I think I was like 3 or 4.
As she told the Orange County Register, the impetus to begin acting at such a young age came entirely from within. As she explained, "I saw a friend of mine in a commercial and walked over to my mom and said, 'Mommy, I want to be on TV.'" She clearly had a knack for it, even at that age. In fact, that whisk spot was the first of more than 100 commercials to feature the talented youngster, who went on to do TV spots for Burger King and many other major companies. From there, she transitioned from commercials to guest starring in TV shows. Early roles included a 1991 episode of Law & Order, a 1993 guest spot in Clarissa Explains It All, and playing an autistic child in the soap opera All My Children. Speaking about the All My Children role in particular, she told the Register she found that part particularly difficult as her character had very few speaking lines. In 1994, she then landed her first recurring role as Nona in the Nickelodeon comedy The Adventures of Pete and Pete, and her relationship to the channel would soon lead her to her first movie role. Conveniently, Trachtenberg was part of the Nickelodeon family when the kid-themed TV network began making movies. In fact, she had the opportunity to play the titular role in the very first Nickelodeon movie, an adaptation of the beloved children's book Harriet the Spy. Trachtenberg was just 9 when she was cast in the film, and she got to work closely with comedian and talk show host Rosie O'Donnell, who played her character's nanny. Speaking about the casting process for the film, Nickelodeon Movies president Debbie Beasy recalled, "She is simply a great actress. We looked at 350 girls, but there was no question in our minds that Michelle was the right girl for the job." It didn't hurt that Trachtenberg was already a fan of the book series, telling the outlet she'd read them well before she was cast in the adaptation. While the film itself got mixed reviews, Trachtenberg's performance was widely praised. As the Austin Chronicle wrote, "Watching Michelle Trachtenberg's pale, thin, quivering, intense performance, we are transported to the 6th grade." Years later, an adult Trachtenberg looked back at that defining role and how much she learned from it. She told Entertainment Tonight that she turned 10 early into the filmmaking process and that O'Donnell was her biggest supporter.
There was a lot required of me. I'm extremely grateful for the experience.
After making a few more movies, including Inspector Gadget, Trachtenberg joined the cast of the TV hit Buffy the Vampire Slayer. At just 14, she was cast as Buffy Summers' little sister Dawn, and she remained a member of the cast until 2003 when the show ended its run. Trachtenberg was younger than her co-stars, which led to a bit of a divide at times. For example, when a break in production allowed the other actors to head to their trailers and chill, the teenaged Trachtenberg used the downtime to catch up on schoolwork. As she explained to the BBC, "Every time that you guys don't see me, I'm running up to school to finish tests, I'm doing all the homework, I'm doing everything my friends do in class." Meanwhile, viewers watched her grow up on the show, and Buffy became a time capsule for her adolescence. Reuniting with the series cast during a 2008 panel at the Paley Center for Media, Trachtenberg reflected on what it was like to be part of such a culturally relevant TV series during such a pivotal part of her own life.
I learned a lot from 14 to 17 on the show, and that was the best high school experience and life experience I could ever ask for.
Not only did Trachtenberg have to contend with science tests and algebra homework during the years she starred on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she also had a whole other television show to fit into her schedule. In 2001, not long after she joined Buffy, she was hired to host Truth or Scare for the Discovery Kids channel. The concept of the series was a documentary-style show that examined supernatural legends to explore the truth behind them. As host, Trachtenberg brought her Buffy horror cred to the table while introducing segments about iconic ghouls like Dracula. The series ran until 2003, tackling everything from Bigfoot to the Loch Ness Monster to the Bermuda Triangle to the alleged extraterrestrial experimentation taking place at Area 51. For her work in the final season, Trachtenberg was nominated for a Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Performer in a Children's Series. She didn't win, and as of 2024, it remains her sole Emmy nomination. By the time Buffy the Vampire Slayer came to a conclusion in 2003, the show's success had helped make Trachtenberg a hot property in Hollywood. She immediately jumped to another project, the raucous teen comedy Eurotrip, which featured her branching out from her more kid-oriented on-screen antics by stripping down to a bikini. Speaking about the new experience, she told Entertainment Weekly, "It was a little stressful. It was the first time that I've ever taken off that much clothing. On screen, I mean." In 2004, she appeared in the movie Mysterious Skin, and that same year, year, she played a spoiled pop star in HBO's 6 Feet Under. In 2005, she portrayed an aspiring figure skater in the film Ice Princess, and then returned to series television in 2006 for a guest spot on the medical drama House. During an appearance on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Trachtenberg revealed that House was her favorite TV show, and she begged the executive producer to cast her in a role. She also had a specific request involving the show's star. She explained, "My one thing is I really need a love scene with Hugh Laurie." Unfortunately for Trachtenberg and fans alike, that particular request was never honored. While Dawn Summers is probably Trachtenberg's most well-known role, it's arguable that a close second has to be the villainous Georgina Sparks from Gossip Girl. Trachtenberg first appeared on the show during its first season in 2008, with Reuters reporting she'd signed on for a multi-episode story arc as a fresh-from-rehab rival to Serena. The character was well-received by the show's viewers, and Georgina returned the following year for more episodes. She wound up recurring throughout the series, appearing in every one of the show's 6 seasons for a total of 28 episodes.
You always did know how to leave them wanting more.
Trachtenberg dug into her devious Gossip Girl role with gleeful gusto, even though Georgina was so far removed from her genuine personality. Speaking with 17 about the gig, she explained, "It's actually kind of easy because the words that they write are so fantastic. It's kind of easy to be evil when you're saying evil things. It's definitely a lot more fun than playing the good girl. I love the reaction you get." After Gossip Girl ended in 2012, Trachtenberg's acting career barreled on, full steam ahead. Even before the series' conclusion, she booked a multi-episode recurring role in the dramedy Weeds, which starred Mary Louise Parker as a suburban soccer mom whose cash-strapped financial situation propelled her to become a marijuana dealer. In subsequent years, Trachtenberg guest starred on several TV dramas, including Criminal Minds, NCIS Los Angeles, and Sleepy Hollow. In 2013, she appeared as Lee Harvey Oswald's wife in the National Geographic Channel movie Killing Kennedy. In addition to working on-screen, she also carved out a sideline career as a voice actor. Along with appearing in several sci-fi and fantasy projects, Trachtenberg has voiced multiple characters in Robot Chicken, the comedy series created by her former Buffy the Vampire Slayer castmate Seth Green. She even reprised her most famous childhood role in a Harriet the Spy spoof.
Spying is fun as hell!
She also voiced the recurring character of an anthropomorphic gummy bear, with Trachtenberg unleashing her iconic Buffy the Vampire Slayer scream when the character becomes caught in a bear trap. In addition, she guest starred in the animated series Supermansion. In 2018, Trachtenberg starred in the animated comedy Human Kind Of, playing a teenager who discovers that her estranged father was an alien. In 2020, Us Weekly reported that Trachtenberg had gotten together with Jay Cohen, her talent agent. According to the outlet, multiple sources confirmed that the two were a couple and, at that point, had been dating for well over a year. Cohen is a partner in the Gersh agency, the talent agency Trachtenberg signed on to in 2014, so she had presumably known him for some time before they got together. Since that report, both Trachtenberg and Cohen have occasionally featured each other on their respective social media. In 2023, Trachtenberg shared a photo of herself on Instagram in which she posed in front of a painting with the caption, "About last night, standing in front of my beautiful custom-painted art piece, a birthday gift from my love, Jay Cohen." The following year, she paid tribute to Cohen on his birthday, sharing a photo of the two of them dressed for Halloween. Cohen has also included Trachtenberg in his Instagram missives, including a photo he posted in celebration of Valentine's Day. In a 2021 Instagram post, he displayed a selfie of himself and Trachtenberg, along with the caption, "Fireworks are every day with this one." Controversy began to surround Buffy the Vampire Slayer creator Joss Whedon in 2017 when his ex-wife Kai Cole wrote a guest piece for The Wrap, accusing him of having a, quote, secret affair on the Buffy set. Then, in 2020, actor Ray Fisher accused Whedon of treating him abusively while filming Justice League, which spurred Buffy alum Charisma Carpenter to tweet a lengthy statement alleging a pattern of abuse while she was on the show. Her former co-star Amber Benson responded to the tweet, confirming the toxic environment Whedon had created on set, as did Sarah Michelle Gellar and Eliza Dushku, with the former writing on Instagram, "While I am proud to have my name associated with Buffy Summers, I don't want to be forever associated with the name Joss Whedon." That same day, Trachtenberg responded to Gellar's post, thanking her for coming forward with her statement and including some shocking allegations of her own. She wrote, "Because this must be known as a teenager, with his not appropriate behavior, very not appropriate. So now people know what Joss did." The last comment I will make on this was there was a rule saying he's not allowed in a room alone with Michelle again. In 2021, Gossip Girl got the reboot treatment with a new group of actors cast as young, wealthy New Yorkers.
Oh, good.
You're awake.
A press release announcing that the series had been renewed for a second season revealed that Trachtenberg would be appearing as a guest star. And sure enough, when the new season arrived in late 2022, she revived Georgina Sparks. Discussing the casting decision, showrunner Joshua Safran told TV Line, "We thought of someone we could bring in who wouldn't overtake the story. Of all these people she's around in her life, her target is still Blair. She has to see Blair's face every day to energize her or to be inspired to do evil." Interviewed by Deadline, Safran revealed that Trachtenberg was game to return to the show from the start, saying, "Michelle actually started DMing about it during the season 1 writer's room. She was like, I want to come back." Like so many actors in Hollywood, Michelle Trachtenberg has been an active user of social media, and like an unfortunately significant number of those celebrities, she's found herself the target of online bullying and rude comments about her physical appearance. That was the case in January 2024, when Trachtenberg posted a selfie with a friend on Instagram. That post was met with a barrage of comments from her followers. Some shared their concern for her health, while others insisted she'd had some sort of cosmetic procedure done. One comment suggested she had jaundice or cirrhosis, while another encouraged her to get tested for an autoimmune disorder. Trachtenberg was not having it. In a follow-up post, she served up a solo selfie and a scathing response to those who criticized her looks, writing, "I've received several comments recently about my appearance. I have never had plastic surgery. I am happy and healthy. Check yourself, haters." She then posted another selfie and another message for those haters, writing, "Fun fact, this is my face. Not malnutrition, no problems." Evidently, years in the public eye has toughened Trachtenberg up enough to handle her share of harassment online.